Surprise, I'm back. A little bit of changing in the board this past week due to some personal issues going on with Brian Caston. He's decided to resign from the board. That left a promotions director position open. After a little bit of conferring with Julie and Thomas, I decided to accept a appointment to the promotions director position. Seemed fitting since last year I did ShadowChase updates and Facebook and a lot of that stuff that falls under promotions director. In my place on the past president's role on the board is Mike Mason. Really excited to have him back on the board. He's just been there, whether he's been a board member or not, contributing. He runs our adult training group, which is really our biggest source of new members, new blood into the club. So he's got some great ideas, and glad he's going to be finishing out my term, and I'll be finishing out Brian's term, which puts me through the end of 2016. So we're going to be getting back to doing weekly updates. I hope you guys aren't sick of seeing my face, because we'll be doing these again once a week. Going to get the emails out regularly, as well as more blog articles, working with the new website that is, it's up, it's live. I still have a lot of things up my sleeve I want to do with it once we get all the old content, old race results moved on over. Going to also be working on some different things. I want to find an easy way to know what you guys are running, what you're training for. Want to make it to where our club seems smaller, where we can communicate to you better. You can communicate back to the board and our leadership, and you guys can communicate with each other better. And so we're going to look for something like that. I know in last year in ShadowChase updates, if I knew certain people were racing coming up, I would really try to wish you luck and let people know, hey, this person's running for this, they're running for that. But I don't want to miss anyone. So I'm going to figure something out. Give me a little time. I'm just getting situated in my new seat here as promotion director, but we'll figure something out. Let's get into this update. Last weekend, I bet we all lost a lot of sleep, right? Western States. I wasn't able to be at Highway 49. I was crewing Thomas Lopes, who had our club berth down the mountain. It was an incredible experience. I'd never been to the start. I made it to a lot of the aid stations. I got to tell you, no one puts on an aid station like ShadowChase. Highway 49, what you guys do, what Heidi and Carrie do in organizing that, it is incredible. I got to see a lot of other, great aid stations, but nothing like what ShadowChase puts on. Great job to Thomas. It was a tough race. He did not get the buckle like he wanted. Around mile 72, he had to call it. But 35% of the people that started this race, including a lot of elite professional athletes, had to drop. The conditions were awful. It was like 74 degrees at 3 o'clock in the morning. I should have been freezing. I was in shorts and a t-shirt, boiling. So it was a toughie, but you did an incredible job. I'm so proud of you, and can't wait until you get back on that start line, whether through lottery or club berth in the future. But otherwise, thank you, everybody. I got to roll into Highway 49 to your aid station, our aid station, for just a few minutes to pick up Laura. She was our ride home. We were exhausted. And coming on in and seeing just the life at like 4:30 in the morning, and the smell of bacon and the happy faces and the energy was incredible. And thank you. You showed the world what ShadowChase is about. And that's awesome. Can't wait till next year. We have a social tomorrow night, the July social. It's going to be at Grisada Park for Concert in the Park, Mo Band. We always do that for the 4th of July one. It's a patriotic theme. Wear red, white, and blue. Wear some, flags, whatever. This will be a very patriotic theme. If you've got potluck things to bring that are patriotic, that's awesome. If not, just, pick up, whatever you want and contribute to the potluck. We're starting at 5 o'clock for those who can get off early to go for a run. Otherwise, I think it's 6 o'clock for some social time. Music starts a little later. I don't know. I'm not looking at the actual calendar of events. That's on Facebook. It's going out in an email as well to you guys this evening. Hope you guys can get out there. I'm going to actually be out of state, but we'll be there with you in spirit. A week from Saturday, Escalon Park Feet. At this point, That is one of only 3 races that ShadowChase owns. So it's extremely important to us. It's one that is a great race. It is one of the only 10K races in the area. So if you're kind of getting sick of all these 5Ks or half marathons, it gives you a chance to do a 10K, possibly PR for the year. And it's a 2-mile race as well. It's out in Escalon. It's tied to the Escalon Park Feet Festival. Great little race. Want to give a shout out to Jack Steyer. For years, he was our race director. He did such great work in keeping that the quality of that race very, very high. We were concerned that the race might not exist after this year, and luckily Kelly Short stepped up, and her assistant Tanya Tilson. They both are stepping up, filling some big shoes. Race direction is not an easy job. It's something I've looked at it and gone, wow, yeah, it's a commitment. But I think they're going to do some great stuff. They're going to have a fresh perspective and some fresh energy. And I really can't wait to see what the future holds for the Escalon Park Feet. Being that it's a race that we own, a larger percent of the proceeds go to our club, and it helps us to fund different programs for our community, but as well as for our members. Things like our barbecue and our awards dinner and things like that are supplemented with these races that we put on. I mentioned Jack Steyer, and I forgot. He won a very prestigious award at Western States, the Friend of the Trail. And that's really something that is an incredible award. It means that he has been giving back to that race in very huge amounts. And so congratulations, Jack. Thank you for making Western States an even more incredible race. It is, it's definitely, there's nothing like Western States. And it takes a lot of work to put on that 100-mile race for sure. Just actually spent some time talking with Mike Mason today. He's getting ready for the next year's training group. He's got the calendar. October 17th, I think, was when we start, because the race is a little later this year, I believe. And he's already looking for mentors. We need like 30 something mentors or something like that. I don't know. I might be getting it wrong. Sorry, Mike, if I'm not. We need a lot of mentors. We have about 200 participants, and they really need a lot of mentors out there to help keep these people motivated, keep them on focus, on goal, to get to their goals of completing a marathon or half marathon. So in the email, you will see Mike's contact information. He's also now a past president, so past president at ShadowChase.org. We'll get directly to him as well, and you can let him know if you're interested in being a mentor. It's a great experience. I mentored for a couple of years until I was on the board and had to focus on what I've got going on here, but it's a really rewarding experience, and I hope to one day go back to being a mentor as well. Also, we've got a field trip coming up, my favorite. These times to get out of town, enjoy new scenery. This time I thought we would get off the trails, even though I'm a trail junkie. I know some people like to run roads, maybe bring the kids, bring a stroller or bikes. So we're going to go into San Francisco, and it's going to be Sunday, July 19th. We're going to drive to Dublin, jump on the BART, and go to the Embarcadero in San Francisco. We'll regroup at the ferry building, and then run along the water through the Embarcadero, past Fisherman's Wharf, the aquatic park, Ghirardelli Square, Fort Mason, Crissy Field, and then if you're adventurous, you can actually go across the Golden Gate. If you do that and back, it's about a half marathon. It's an out and back, so you can actually just shorten it if you want. Just go, I've had enough, I'm going to turn around. We did this run for a friend's birthday. And we actually, on the way back, hit the Buena Vista for an Irish coffee. So it's really pretty much whatever you want. Or there's Johnny Rockets for a malted, or Ben and Jerry's for some sort of ice cream or whatever, crab, you name it. We can make it sightseeing, running, eat your way across San Francisco, whatever you want to make of it. So hope to see you guys there. It's going to be a great time. Otherwise, have a happy holiday. I hope to see everybody over at Escalon Park Feet next week when I get back into town. And happy running. Glad to be back.